Preface to Lyrical Ballads by William Wordsworth. It was published in 1800 and revised in 1802 and 1805, and it is considered the manifesto of English Romanticism. Its purpose to explain the aims, ideas, and principles behind the collection Lyrical Ballads written by Wordsworth and Coleridge. What is the preface about? Wordsworth uses the preface to announce a new kind of poetry. He breaks away from the classical grand artificial style of the 18th century and declares that poetry must return to nature, simplicity, and emotion. Main ideas of the preface. Poetry comes from powerful feelings. Wordsworth's most famous idea: poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, but these feelings are expressed only after the poet reflects on them calmly. He calls this emotion neglected in tranquility. Subject matter: common and rustic life. Wordsworth chooses ordinary life because people in rural setting feel emotions more deeply. Their lives are simple and natural. Their actions and feelings are universal. They are closer to poetry. Ordinary events and common people become worthy subject of poetry. Language of poetry: simple and natural. Wordsworth strongly opposes the decorative, artificial language used by earlier poets. He insists on language of common man, natural speech pattern, no unnecessary poetic ornament, simplicity and clarity. For him, true poetry must be understandable to everyone. The poet, a man speaking to man. Wordsworth rejects the idea of a poet as a distant superior genius. A poet is an ordinary human being but with greater sensitivity, more powerful feelings, a deeper sense of beauty, a stronger imagination, ability to express emotions universally. And purpose of poetry: according to Wordsworth, poetry should give pleasure, strengthen human sympathy, refine feelings, connect humans with nature, bring emotional and moral improvement. Poetry is a healing force. Importance of nature: nature is not just scenery, it shapes the human mind and emotions. Wordsworth believes humans and nature are connected to a spiritual bond. Meter in poetry: he supports meter because it controls emotion, it gives pleasure, it creates harmony. But meter should not make the language artificial. Difference between neoclassical poetry and romantic poetry. Neoclassicist, Pope and Dryden: artificial style, urban life, classical rules, emphasis on region. And Wordsworth: romanticism, simple language, rural life, freedom in poetry, and emphasis on emotion and imagination. Why the preface is important? Defines romantic poetry, breaks away from classical tradition, establishes new principles based on nature and emotion, introduces a psychological theory of poetry, influences almost all later romantic poets. Famous line from the preface: poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, emotions recollected in tranquility. A man speaking to man, humble and rustic life was generally chosen. Thanks for watching.